Hello and welcome students. Myself Shri Krishna Mishra, Assistant Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur. We are into our 8th lecture of the subject Machine Design, whose subject code is ME303. Alright, and the topic which we are going to discuss today is the stress concentration factor. So, first of all, let's see what are the objectives of today's lecture. The objectives of today's lecture are first to understand the concept of stress concentration. Means first of all we should know what is stress concentration. Then after, since we have already got an idea of what is stress concentration in our previous lecture, so here we will move further into that. We will know how to find out stress concentration factor. We will know first of all what is stress concentration factor, and then after we will see how to find out the value of stress concentration factor. Our third lecture objective is to understand how to read charts for finding KT. KT means theoretical stress concentration factor. So if we have to calculate the stress concentration factor, we will have to read some charts. These charts are prepared, and but we should have the knowledge how to find a value of stress concentration factor from the chart. So that is our third lecture objective. And then after, to design a machine component having abrupt change in cross section when load is applied. Basically this all stress concentration factor value is needed to be obtained in order to use it for finding or for designing a machine component which has some abrupt change in its cross section. Alright, for example, in case of shaft, if you have a shoulder, so there you have a abrupt change in cross section. So in such type of situation, whenever load is applied, whichever type of load is applied, in that case we should have the value of stress concentration factor. So these all things we are going to discuss. We will finally solve some numericals. On the basis of that numericals, we will get an understanding of designing of a machine component. Alright, so let's move into the content now. Stress concentration factor. The stress concentration factor, as we all know, is given by, we have already in our previous lecture seen that stress concentration factor, we have already seen that stress concentration factor KT is basically what? KT is your maximum stress which is obtained, maximum stress which is obtained at some point of abrupt change of cross section to the normal stress which is available at all the other normal conditions or locations. Like this, if this is a plate and this is a hole which has been drilled on it, then this particular location has maximum cross section. The location which is near to this hole, this has got maximum stress concentration. Alright, so the maximum stress value which is obtained here divided by the normal stress value here, where there is no abrupt change in cross section, is known as stress concentration factor and is denoted by KT. So KT is basically what? Maximum stress upon normal stress. Now this formula we know, but how to estimate this value of maximum stress? So for that purpose, the stress concentration factors are basically determined by two methods. First is the mathematical method based on the theory of elasticity, and the experimental method. Experimental methods in which mainly is photoelastic technique is used. In experimental methods, photoelastic technique is used. So one is the mathematical method, on the basis of which we will do some calculation and find out the value of stress concentration factor. In this mathematical method, we will also use some chart for finding the value of KT, stress concentration factor. And in case of experimental methods, we use some techniques like photoelastic techniques for getting the value of stress concentration factor. Now for simple geometries, the stress concentration factor can be easily determined by photoelastic techniques, but this is for simple geometrical shapes only. So for simple geometrical shapes, we can easily calculate the stress concentration factor through photoelastic technique. Now there are also charts for stress concentration factors for different group geometries and conditions of loading. When these were designed or developed by Peterson. This Peterson, the scientist, is the one who has designed chart, who has made charts for finding out the stress concentration factors for different geometries and different types of loading conditions. At present, right now at present, finite element as analysis packages are used to find out the stress concentration for factor for any geometric shape. Now in present days, what we do, we use finite element analysis method in order to find out the stress concentration factor of any geometric shape. The chart for stress concentration factor, the chart for stress concentration factor for a rectangular plate with a transverse hole loaded in tension or compression is shown in the figure, which I will show you in the next slide. Normally what happens, the nominal stress which is acting at any point of abrupt change of cross section is given by this formula. Means if you have a plate who has got its thickness, which has got its thickness equal to T, all right, and the load which is acting on it, if it is P, again one more thing, if its width is D, if its width is W, if its width is W is its width, and you have a hole in it whose diameter is given to you as D, small d, whose diameter is given to you as small d. So here if you have to find the stress by normal formula, so we know that stress is basically given by load divided by cross section area. So the load is same everywhere. So here also in this particular plane which I am making right now, in this particular plane also the load value will be P, but the area will be, the cross sectional area will be how much? This will not be the cross sectional area because now you have a hole in between. So this width will be shortened by diameter D. So W by D, W minus D will give you the width at this particular point of a change of cross section where a hole has been drilled. And if you multiply this with thickness, if you multiply with the thickness, then you will get the area. So this particular thing will give you the value of stress, nominal stress at this point where hole has been drilled. All right, sigma naught is equal to P upon W minus D into T, where T is the plate thickness. This particular formula will give you, the value of normal stress at this point. As you can see, the value of stress concentration for a plate with a shoulder subjected to tensile or compressive strength are determined from the charts which I will show you to you. The nominal stress for this case, in case of a plate which does not have any hole, in case of a plate which does not have any hole and whose width is D, its stress, its nominal stress can be calculated by P upon dt. So this is the nominal stress which can be calculated. Now moving into the next slide, it is possible to find out the stress concentration factor for some geometrical shapes using the photoelastic technique or the theory of elasticity. This already I have told to you that stress concentration factor for some simple geometrical shapes that you can easily calculate by using the theory of elasticity. All right, like for example, a flat plate with an elliptical hole and subjected to tensile force is shown in this figure. Here there you have a hole. All right, it is elliptical in shape which has got its major axis A and minor axis B. Now it is proved from the theory of elasticity, it has been obtained that the theoretical stress concentration factor can be obtained by this formula. This formula says that Kt is equal to 1 plus 2 into bracket A by B. 1 plus 2 into bracket A by B. So from this formula you can calculate the value of theoretical stress. Now let's take out one conclusion from this. If it would have been a hole, it would have been a circular hole place of elliptical. Then what would have been changed in here? Then in that case, we all know there would have been no major axis, no minor axis. Both major and minor axis would have been same, because everywhere you have a diameter d. So therefore this A and B both would have been same, and they would have been cancelled out in case of circle I am talking you. So they would get cancelled out, and it will be equal to 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 means it will be equal to 3. So from this formula, one deduction we can do from this formula, that for a circular hole, the stress concentration factor will be equal to 3. For a circular hole, the stress concentration factor becomes equal to 3. This is also shown here. You can see for a circle you have A equal to B, means there is no major axis, there is no minor axis, so A is equal to B, and therefore they both get cancelled out and your KT becomes 3. Therefore the theoretical stress concentration factor due to a small circular hole in a plate which is subjected to tensile force is 3. Means if this is the plate, there is a small hole in it, and if the load which is acting on this plate is tensile load, then KT value is how much? KT value is equal to 3. So this was the stress concentration factor value for a hole. Now there are some charts, as I have already told you. With the help of these charts we used to find out the value of KT. Alright, as you can see, these charts are, there are many charts, and they are based on the type of loading and the type of component. So if you have a plate with a hole drilled on it, like this, and the hole diameter is small d, and the plate width is W, and the load, if it is acting, is P, then the theoretical stress concentration factor can be obtained by this particular graph, this particular chart. So if you find that the value of this ratio d by W, means d is what? D is the diameter of the hole and W is the width. So if the value of d by W, this is known to you, then you can easily calculate the value of KT. How you will calculate? See, if the value of d by W is obtained as 0.3, if 0.3 is the value of d by W, then just in the vertical line of this d by W, you just scroll it, and you will see that this vertical line intersects this curve made at some point. Now at this particular point on the horizontal line, you find whatever is the value of KT, that will be the answer. So here you can find that the KT value is 2.35. This means that if d by W value is equal to 0.3, then the KT value for that particular case will be equal to 2.3. Similarly, this was the case of a plate with a hole. Now I am taking the case of a shaft with a shoulder, and the diameter of the shaft, bigger diameter is capital D, small diameter is small d, and this particular change of cross section has been smoothed by giving fillet radius small r. Now if you have the value of r by d, means this fillet radius divided by the small diameter of the shaft, if you have this value, and also you have this value of capital D by small d, this d, capital D is the bigger diameter, small d is the smaller diameter. So if you have this value also, then from these three parameters, r, small d, and capital D, you can calculate the value of KT. How? Let me show you. If for example the value of the r by d ratio is 0.2, so just you go drag towards the vertical line from this 0.2, and if capital D by small d ratio is equal to 1.2, then this is the curve of capital D by small d value equal to 0.2. So wherever this curve strikes this vertical line from 0.2, at this particular point, see in the horizontal line where what is the value given to you. If the value given to you is 1.4, this means that in this particular case the theoretical stress concentration factor KT is equal to how much? KT is equal to 1.4. So in this way, this can be calculated through the chart. KT value can be calculated through the chart. R by D value, if it is known to you, let's take another example. If this is equal to 0.1 and D by D value is 0.2, so how you will calculate this? R by D value is 0.1. You make a vertical line from this R by D value, and whichever is the curve, whichever is the curve related to D by D 2.0, you intersect on that particular curve. Wherever it intersects, just see what is the horizontal line, see whatever is the value given in the horizontal line. So here you can see KT is equal to 2.1. so KT value becomes equal to 2.1 when the R by D value is 0.1 and capital D by small d value is 2. Coming into the next tables, so there are other tables also. You can see this is the table, this is the table. Here if the shaft is not of circular cross section, it is of this shape, means there is some abrupt cross section change on a flat plate with a shoulder fillet. Means if it is a flat plate with a shoulder fillet on it, then in that case, if you have the value of a small d, means small thickness of the plate, then capital D means larger thickness of the plate and the fillet radius, then from these three parameters, R by D you can calculate ratio, and then capital D by small d, this value you can take, and from these two values you can calculate the value of KT. You can calculate the value of KT, theoretical stress concentration factor. Similarly, in case of bending moment, in case of round shaft, in case of shaft which has a shoulder and in which bending moment is applied. Before that, the previous case which we have discussed of a shaft with a shoulder, in that case there was no bending load that was applied. There was either tensile load or compressive load. In case of bending load applied on a shaft having a shoulder, in that case, if you have the value of this fillet radius, small diameter and larger diameter, through these three values you can first of all calculate R by D ratio, small r by D ratio. Then after you should calculate the value of capital D by small d, this ratio you will calculate, and whenever when you have calculated, from that you can calculate the value of KT. So how? Let's, for example, 0.1 is the value of R by D. Just drag a vertical line from this and see which curve strikes this vertical line. If the value of capital D by small d is 2, then this top particular curve is the curve denoting capital D by small d value 2. So just intersect on this particular curve and see in the horizontal line what is the value given of this KT. Here the value given is 18. This means that stress concentration factor KT in the case of shaft subjected to bending load is given by this diagram. All right, now this is the last diagram. Again, it is you can see there is, if any twisting load, if there is any twisting load applied on a shaft with a shoulder, then in that case, first of all you calculate R by D, means same fillet radius divided by small diameter. Then you calculate capital D by small d, means capital D I have already told you, it is a larger diameter divided by smaller diameter. If it is 1.2, just drag a line from this R by D value, and wherever it intersects the capital D by D curve, at that particular point find what is the value given in the y-axis, because y-axis denotes the value of KT. So from this you can calculate the value of KT. Alright, so these were the 5 charts which I have discussed with you based on the circumstances, situations, means based on the component which has to be designed, and based on the loading which is acting on that component. We can use any of the chart which is given here. Now we will solve a numerical based on this particular concept. This numerical is based on the designing of a particular machine component in which there is some change in cross section type. So let's first of all read out this numerical. A flat plate subjected to a tensile force of 5 kilonewton is shown in the figure. As you can see, this is the figure, a flat plate with a tensile load of 5 kilonewton. The plate material is grey cast iron FG200. The plate material is FG200 grey cast iron. The factor of safety is 2.5. The factor of safety is 2.5. Determine the thickness of the plate. Now this is the figure which you are seeing here. In this figure, the question says that you have to find out the value of the thickness of this plate. The value of thickness of this plate. Value of thickness of this plate. This T thickness, which from the top view you can see this is the diagram of thickness of the plate. So this T value you have to calculate, and the things which are given to you are the load which is acting on it, tensile load. Then after the fillet radius which is given at this corner. Then you have the diameter of the hole drilled at this particular position, and then you have the smaller width and the larger width of these plates. So a smaller width I have already told you, it is denoted by a small d, larger width is denoted by capital D. Alright, smaller width is also not denoted by smaller v is denoted by small w, and this diameter is denoted by small d, and this fillet radius is denoted by small r. Alright, so this designation we are taking. So from this designation, first of all, from that question you can see that the material which is used is grey cast iron Fg200. So whenever a material is written in this way, Fg200, this itself means that the value of ultimate tensile strength, the value of ultimate tensile strength is equal to how much? Is equal to 200. This is the method which is used for, calculating the ultimate tensile strength of the material. So 200 Newton per mm square becomes its ultimate tensile strength. 200 Newton per mm square becomes its ultimate tensile strength. SUT, we are denoting it by SUT. And if you have SUT and also factor of safety is given to you, then you can calculate the permissible water designed value of, means the value which we have to take for designing purposes. So what will be that value? We all know that factor of safety is equal to the designed factor of safety is equal to the ultimate tensile strength upon maximum stress. Sorry, it is not maximum stress, it is what? It is FOS is equal to maximum stress. Alright, maximum stress divided by nominal or design stress. So design stress you can calculate by dividing maximum stress. Design stress you can calculate by dividing maximum stress by factor of safety. Maximum stress by factor of safety. Maximum stress by factor of safety. So here the same thing we are doing. Ultimate tensile strength is given to you as 200 and a factor of safety is given to you as 2.5. Then divide these two values and you will get 80 Newton per mm square as its maximum stress. Then after, this was our first step, calculation of permissible value of tensile strength. Why? Because ultimate strength value we can't take for designing if the factor of safety is not 1, if it is more than 1. So whatever is the factor of safety, you will have to divide that value from the ultimate tensile strength value to get the maximum permissible value. Alright, it is not the maximum ultimate tensile strength, it is the maximum permissible designed stress value. So that we have calculated, it is equal to 80 Newton per mm square. Now this value we will take in the further calculations. Now second step is we will calculate the tensile strength. We will now choose, there are two sections where stress has been concentrated. First is this circle section and the second is this fillet section. So let's first of all look at the circle section. The stress are critical at two sections, the fillet section and the hole sections. Now if we see, the stresses are critical at two sections. the fillet section and the hole section. So first of all we will look into the hole section, sorry, fillet section, and then after we will move into the hole section. So in fillet, first of all, what will be the stress at this particular portion? This we will have to calculate. So how we will calculate the stress at this portion? The stress at this portion will be equal to, directly we all know that the normal formula, the elementary equation for finding stress is equal to load by area. Now here in this portion, what will be the area? If the thickness you have taken T, if you have taken the thickness T, then T into 30, T into 30 means 30T will give you the area, means P upon 30T will be give you the value of stress, and P is given to you as 5 kilonewton, means if you convert it into Newton, it will be 5000 divided by 30 into T. So this we have done here, 5000 divided by 30 into T. Now here the capital D denotes this 45 value, means larger width. It is 45 and a smaller d is 30. Use this two values and find the value of this ratio, capital D by small d. So 45 divided by 30 will give you 1.5. After this, after calculating the value of capital D by small d, second value that is important to find out the value of KT, theoretical stress concentration factor, for this particular fillet section is which one? Is this one, R by D. R by D is basically what? R stands for your fillet radius, which is 5 in this case, and small d is what? Small d is this thickness, this particular 30. So 5 by 30, this means 0.167 is your R by D value, and capital D by D is 1.5. And as we have seen in the chart, if we go back and see in the chart, the chart I have already explained you. This is the chart. First of all, which is the case, what is our case? Our case is a plate which is having fillet on it, means our case is like this. Here R by D and capital D value was needed. R by D we have calculated, it was equal to how much? Our R by D value here we have calculated is 0.167, and capital D by small d is 1.5. So from here, this is the curve depicting the value of capital D by small d, which is 1.5, and R by D is how much? R by D is given to you, R by D is 0.167, means it will be 0.1 is here, 0.2 is here, this is 0.2, 0.1, 0.16 means the third one. So here if you draw a vertical line, it will intersect this curve, red color highlighted curve, at this point, and at this point if you find the value of KT, it will be somewhere here. So between 1.2 and 1.4. So let's see what is the value. KT from the graph, you can see KT from the graph, if minutely you will find the value, KT you will get equal to 1.8. Now these graphs generally you get in machine design data book. In the machine design data book, in that stress concentration particular topic, you will get these graphs, different graphs which I have shown you. These different graphs which have to be used for calculating the value of KT. These graphs you can see from the machine design data book. Now after calculating the value of KT, what you will do, by the formula we all know that maximum stress can be obtained by multiplying KT with nominal stress. Alright, maximum stress can be obtained, maximum designed stress can be obtained by multiplying KT with the nominal stress. Why? Because we all know that KT is equal to maximum stress which is obtained at this particular area of fillet, near to this fillet, divided by the normal stress, the normal value of stress. So normal value of stress multiplied by KT will give you the maximum stress. So maximum stress KT into sigma naught will give you the value. KT is 1.8 for 5000 divided by 30T. This is your what? This is the expression of sigma naught which you have calculated here in this step. And finally, this will be the value of the maximum stress Where? At which location? At this fillet location, this location, this. Now this is the maximum stress, but there is one more area where we have to find the stress value, which it is at this particular location, means near to this hole. So let's now consider the case of the hole section. In the hole section, the formula which we will use for finding the normal stress, first of all, will be P upon W minus D into T. Why? Because in the whole area, there is a hole. All right, and if we are taking its diameter D, all right, and if the thickness of this particular plate having the hole, if it is T, the whole sole width of this plate is W. So we have seen load is your P, which is acting tensile load. So we have seen that load divided by area, cross-sectional area. Cross-sectional area means this particular location area. So here you have a hole, so that will be minused, that particular dimension will be minus, means this particular width, which is W, which would have been otherwise taken as W, that we will not take. We will we will subtract W. From W we will subtract this small d, means diameter of this hole, and we will multiply with this T, thickness, to get this cross section. Alright, so P upon W minus D into T will give you the stress, normal stress value, which is the normal value which is available generally. So 5000, this is the load value, divided by width 30 minus small d, diameter of hole 15 into T, will give you an expression for normal stress. Now we have to calculate here also that KT value, theoretical stress concentration factor value. So again we will have to see the chart which is giving us the value for a plate having a hole. So this is the first case. This is the case where the plate is having a hole. Now in this, first of all, d by w value you should know. So d by w value here in the question, d by w value is how much? 0.5. So 0.5 value, the curve related to 0.5 value is which one? See here, this is 1.1 to 1.5. 0.5 means, let's again see what was the value of, no, this is not a diagram, this is the diagram. So 0.5 value, you see d by w equal to 0.5. Where is that value? This is the value. Now just vertical line you draw from this value, drag it in this way, and from here you see in the horizontal line what is the value of KT given to you. So KT value, you will see it is near to 2.1 and 2.2. It is in between, means it is equal to 2.15. It can be taken as 2.15. So all right, 2.15, here it is taken 2.16, no issue. If you will zoom and exactly you will find the value, you will see that it is equal to 2.16. Now by formula we all know that maximum stress can be obtained by multiplying this KT with normal stress. So 2.16 is the KT value which you have obtained from the chart. All right, and this is the expression for the normal stress. Finally 720 by T, this is the value of the maximum stress which is obtained, which is available at the hole section. Now which is the greater one? The designing is always done by considering that which part will fail early. So which part will fail first, hole section or the fillet section? The stress value, whichever is greater, that particular part will fail first. So the whole section, the stress value is 720 by T, and in the fillet section, what was the value which we have calculated? It was the 300 by T. So 300 by T is at the fillet section, and at the whole section it is 700 by T. So this means that the failure will occur firstly in this particular whole section. So we will take the value of maximum stress, this, and by using this maximum value of stress we will move further. Now moving further, we are just doing the designing, means we have to calculate the value of thickness. So moving further, the thickness of the plate can be calculated. The designed value of stress, this is the maximum value of stress, all right, at the whole section, and we can only take the stress value equal to 80. So why not to equate this 720 by t with 80? If you equate this 720 by t with 80, you will get the t value equal to 9 mm. The t value equal to 9 mm. So t is what? T is the thickness of the plate. This was an important question, and in this the whole of the designing concept has been understood. How? First concept that should be kept in mind is that the stress value whichever is higher, that is considered to be failing firstly. Like here in the numerical, particular numerical, there was a hole. In this particular numerical there was a hole as well as fillet section. All right, now if in order to decide which will fail early, means this is also acting as a stress razor, and this hole is also acting as a stress razor. But what is the maximum? Where is the stress value higher, at this location or at this location? This first we have calculated, and wherever the stress value is higher, for example at the whole portion, if the stress value you have got is higher, then we will consider the stress at this particular location. And since in question the permissible value of stress is not given, we have calculated by using this expression. Ultimate maximum value of ultimate tensile strength is given to you as 200. So factor of safety, we have divided ultimate tensile strength value from the factor of safety and obtain the maximum permissible stress value. So whatever is the maximum stress value which you have obtained at the whole section, you will equate with this value, and from this you can get the thickness of the plate value, and it is equal to how much? It is equal to, I think, 9 mm. So 9 mm is the thickness of the plate. So in this way the designing is always done. One more question we will take so that we can understand this in a more better way. This is the next question. Now what is the question saying to you? A non-rotating shaft supporting a load of 2.5 kilonewton is shown in the figure. This is the figure. The shaft is made of brittle material whose ultimate tensile strength is 300 Newton per mm square. The factor of safety value you can take 3. Now design this particular shaft, means you have to calculate the value of a small d, which is the diameter of the shaft. In this figure, if you see, the dimensions are given to you in the form of small diameter d. Means if you find this particular portion diameter, it is small d. In this particular portion the diameter has increased, it has become equal to 1.1 d. This fillet radius is 0.1 d. The load which is acting is the bending load. All right, it is 2.5 kilonewton, and the ultimate tensile strength of this particular material is 300 Newton per mm square. The length are given to you 350, 300 and 350. So first of all, here in this question, since it is dealing with the bending load, so we will have to consider the stress and strain diagram. So if 2.5 kilonewton load is acting at the center, you can see it is at the center. This is the center position of the complete shaft. 350 here, 350 here, and in between it is 300, and in between the 300 you have 2.5 kilonewton load. This means that the reaction which will be with the reaction force at this locations of support or this locations of bearing will be how much? Since it is symmetrical, we can take it is equal to 2.5 divided by 2.5 divided by 2. All right, here it will be 2.5 divided by 2. Now if at center you have to find, we all know by the concept that the maximum bending moment will be obtained at the center. So this is the point where you will get the maximum bending moment. So what is the value of maximum bending moment? That we should know. How we will calculate the maximum bending moment? This we all know that in case of a point load acting, the bending moment is given by, how we will calculate? Here it is 2.5 divided by 2 and multiply by this distance. All right, and distance is how much? Distance, you can take the complete whole soul distance is 350 plus 300 plus 350, means it is equal to 700 plus 300. It is equal to 700 plus 300, means 1000, and if you divide 1000 by 2 you will get 500. So this is the length 500. All right, and this is 2.5 divided by 2 the load. So at this particular portion, what will be the bending moment? Bending moment is obtained by force into multiplied by distance, means 2.5 divided by 2, all right, into this particular distance will give you the value of Newton. 2.5 if you are taking that, it will be kilonewton meter. It will be kilonewton meter. But if you are taking in Newton, then it will be, in place of 2.5 you will have to write 2500. So 2500 divided by 2 into 500, you will give you value in Newton mm. All right, so this is the maximum bending moment which is acting at the center. Let's see. Before that, one step has to be done at the earlier stage itself, that what will be the maximum permissible value. This factor of safety is given to you, and also ultimate tensile strength value is given to you. So designing can't be done by taking ultimate tensile strength value. Why? Because factor of safety is 3, it is not 1. If it would have been 1, we would have taken this value as the maximum value. Since it is not 1, we will find maximum normal stress. How? By dividing ultimate tensile strength SUT by factor of safety. So 100 is the permissible maximum stress value which we will take for designing. Moving into the step which I was discussing with you, this at the fillet section. Now, that I have already told you, that equation, bending equation gives you this formula. Normal stress sigma naught is equal to 32 m by pi d cube. 32 m by pi d cube. So this we have already calculated this bending moment. This bending moment we have calculated, just I have told to you. 1250 is what? It is the same thing which we have done. 1250 into 350. Why 350? Because in the fillet section, if you are considering the fillet section is at a distance of 350 from one side. 350 from one side. So here, what is the moment that will be acting? That is important to know. So 350 into what is the load? What is the reaction at this point? The reaction was how much? It was 5000 divided by 2. 5000 divided by 2. It is something like that. So from here you can see, in the previous step you would have seen this. 2.5 is the load which is acting, so divided by 2 you will get the reaction at this point. All right, and 350 is the distance. So at this particular fillet location, what will be the value? What will be the value of a bending moment? So it will be equal to 2500. This was the divided by 2 here and here in both, because it is symmetrical load. 2.5 is symmetrical, because therefore we have directly divided to get the reaction force. So 2500 divided by 2 into 350 will give you the bending moment at this portion. Then moving, what we will do, this normal stress we have calculated from this bending equation. We have put the value of bending moment, and then after that we have for using the chart for calculating KT value, what we will have to do, we will have to find capital D by small d and R by d. Now in the question, capital D is what? Capital D is 1.1 into D. 1.1 into D, this is the capital D, and small d is small d itself. So 1.1 is the ratio capital D by small d. And the second is R by D. R by D ratio will be 0.1 D is divided by small d, means 0.1. So 1.1 is the capital D by small d, and R by D is your 0.1. Using this in chart, which is the chart which is showing you this particular thing where bending moment load is acting. Let's see, this is the tensile load, this is the bending load. So this chart will be used. Round shaft with shoulder fillet. So in this chart you have the value, in this particular chart figure, this particular chart you have the value of capital D by D 1.1. you see this is the 1.1 value of capital D by small d, and 0.1 is this R by D value. If you, from this you can find the value of KT. So KT is approx near to I think 1.8. Let's see, what has been taken in the solution. 1.61 has been taken in the solution. 1.61, use this and find the value of maximum stress. Maximum stress is kT into sigma naught. So this way we have calculated the maximum stress also. Now we can, what we will do, one more step has to be done. At the center, what will be the bending moment, that also we will calculate. From this, sigma naught is equal to 32 mb upon pi d cube. At center, bending moment will be how much? Distance will be 500, therefore bending moment will be 1250 into 500. From this we have calculated bending stress at center. Now if this is bigger, or step second is bigger, which is bigger, we will have to see. Here this is the, from this and from this, as we can see that the fillet section, the stress is maximum, so we will equate the stress value at this fillet section with the permissible design stress value 100. We will get the diameter 41.55. so in this way this question is also completed. We have obtained the value of D. The designing itself means getting the dimensions. Now coming into the multiple choice questions. First multiple choice question: the stress which vary from a minimum value to a maximum value of same nature. We all know the stress which varies from time to time is known as what? It is known as your fluctuating stress. So option 1 is the option C is the correct in first MCQ. In the second, the endurance or fatigue limit, in the endurance or the fatigue limit is defined at the maximum value of stress which a polished standard specimen can withstand without failure for infinite number of cycles when subjected to. In this we know that fatigue or endurance is the word used for completely reversed load. So D is the correct answer. In the third question, failure of a material is called fatigue when it fails beyond the yield point. When it fails beyond the yield point, then we say that it is below the yield point. Sorry, if a material fails below the yield point, means there is some fatigue loading. We will look into that in the coming lecture also. Then our MCQ number 4 is that resistance to fatigue of a material is measured by, we all know it is endurance limit. The yield point in static loading is higher as compared to fatigue loading. So in option A for fifth MCQ is the correct. Then factor of safety for fatigue loading is the ratio of, now factor of safety is what? It is the ratio of, in case of fatigue loading, it is the ratio of endurance limit to the working stress. So C is the correct answer. Then in the MCQ number 7, when a material is subjected to fatigue loading, the ratio of endurance limit to the ultimate tensile strength is, now this in case of fatigue loading, the ratio is how much? Ratio is your 0.50. So C is the correct answer, 0.50. The ratio of endurance limit in shear to endurance limit in flexor is, option C is the correct option. Then in the size of a standard specimen for a fatigue testing machine is increased, the endurance limit for the material will, as you see the options are given to you. So from these options, option C means if the size of a standard specimen for a fatigue testing machine is increased, the endurance limit will decrease. All right, by increasing the size of the specimen, the endurance limit will decrease. Then after that is the residential compressive stress by way of surface treatment of a machine member subjected to fatigue loading improves the fatigue lives. This fatigue concept we will also discuss in the coming lectures also. So these were the MCQs discussed in related to our today's lecture. Now the reference books which you can use for your self study are these. You can use any of the reference book. The main content of my lecture has been taken from this V.V. Bhandari book. Writer is V.V. Bhandari, and that big book of name is Design of Machine Elements, and it is under Tata McGraw-Hill Publications. So I hope the whole of the lecture is well understood by you. We will again meet in the coming lectures with some new topic. Thank you and have a nice day.